Today, progress was made in the election process of the new departmental controller, where the Assembly summoned the candidates nominated for the position.
After the election of the new departmental controller was extended for several months due to alleged irregularities in the process, today the Departmental Assembly, the control body in charge of choosing the new public official, interviewed the candidates for the position and also provided the pertinent information on the legal status that currently regulates the election of the departmental controller.
The issue of the election of the controller has been a very complex process for the whole assembly and the community because several lawsuits and complaints were filed in the past. A judge in Bogota ordered the assembly in 10 days to choose and draw a schedule for the election of the controller. It is a judicial act of strict compliance. Today we are on schedule, complying with the law, interviewing the nominees, and as soon as we finish the interview with the nominees, we will soon be conducting the process of election and possession of the future comptroller.
The departmental comptroller should have been elected on November 30th of 2021, as stipulated in the calendar of the election process. The Departmental Assembly informed that the nomination of the new comptroller will take place on June 15th of this year if there are no modifications to the newly established calendar.
And the candidates for the position of departmental controller exposed their proposals to improve the operation of the fiscal control body during the next 4 years.
The deputies of the Departmental Assembly listened to the 3 candidates for the position of departmental controller who shared their professional experience, their proposals to improve the entity, and their answers to the deputies' questions. Among the candidates was William Austin Archbold, an economist and professional in foreign trade with a postgraduate degree in financial management.
In case of getting elected, one of my main points to treat is the personnel, the number of personnel of the entity. We just have 28 at this moment, and as we notice, the entities that we have to control, they are growing year after year. So we don't have the sufficient personnel to attend the different auditing process. Our next point, very important, is to involve the people, the community in the control. People, the constitution.
Another candidate who shared his strategies for the improvement of the departmental controller's office was Starlin Grinard Bent, a lawyer who graduated from the University of Cartagena with a specialization in fiscal responsibility and fiscal management.
The principal idea that I present before the Assembly is that we want to prevent that the public resources get lost, that people make use of the public resources in a way that they shouldn't. So our principal idea is to prevent. Whenever we see or have idea about something that can make public money last, we will go in and we will make the observations, and we will tell or ask the different entities to take the measurement so that the money that all of us, that is belongs to all of us, doesn't last. That, I think, will be my principal objective.
The third candidate to share his ideas was Robert Sanchez Flores, a business administrator specializing in public management and state contracting.
The first is the strengthening and the citizen participation, and the second is the strengthening of fiscal control by making interinstitutional agreements, the same audit and the general comptroller of the nation, with public universities and other territorial control entities that have much to contribute to the departmental controller for the achievement of the mission objectives that is the reason for the existence of the control entity.
The official who assumes the position of departmental controller will have the task of directing, administering, and coordinating the fiscal oversight of the island.
At the beginning of the new housing works for those affected by hurricanes Eta and Iota generated discontent among those who say that they have been waiting for aid since 2002 after losing their homes due to coastal erosion.
after the beginning of the construction of new houses led by the Planning Secretariat, through which the departmental government will deliver houses to families affected in San Andres by Hurricanes Eta and Iota. The reactions were not long in coming among some victims who lost their homes in the zone-based sector in 2002 due to coastal erosion.
It's because this piece of land in the sector are four corner. Our land they went donate to we from 2002 when we get affected with the sea. And now Gobernación take this land and they donate the same land to the people when they get affected from the Iota. And I feel like if anybody get affected from Iota, they have to be only their house and lose. But we not only lose house, we lose the house, we use land, and we lose what when they in the house.
The spokeswoman of those affected by coastal erosion since 2002 affirmed that they deserve to receive housing prior to those affected by the last natural phenomena that took place in 2020 on the island.
But we lose what we house, we land, and what when they in the house, and we not going to permit for them come put no house down here because any house built on this piece of land have to be for the same set of people in from 2002 some beer, or none at all, because anything what them they do say that today, before them done, we want to take you up. So we don't make them know, because if we not got no government to help we or fight we have to do it for ourselves, and we know I allow nobody to abuse our way because we want to defend for ourselves.
Due to the protests that began at 7:30 in the morning in the land located in the sector of Four Corner, Interim Governor Randy Manuel was present at the site in the afternoon, accompanied by the Secretary of Planning, the Secretary of Government, and the Ombudsman. A dialogue was held with the protesters, however, they did not reach an agreement. On the other hand, off camera, the officials indicated that they will seek a solution that in the coming days will be put under consideration those affected by coastal erosion in 2002 in order to reach an agreement. In line with the aforementioned, as stated to the Teleislas news team, only when a solution is defined will a pronouncement be issued by the departmental government.
Report of the police, the commander highlighted the good works of the institution against micro-trafficking and the fight against the most evident crimes in the department.
7 captures had been advanced related to the seizure of narcotics for more than 32 kilograms and seizures of firearms, thanks to the good results of operations that are carried out within the archipelago. The profiling of people who bring narcotics to the island is one of the exercises that stand out.
Last week, we achieved the arrest of a woman and the apprehension of a minor with more than 5 kilos of narcotics. It is also very important to highlight the good work being done by the anti-narcotics personnel who, thanks to their inspections, have managed to seize 27 kilos of marijuana and 5 kilos of cocaine hydrochloride.
The seized narcotic was found in an industrial refrigerator. That institution has also been attacked with micro-trafficking. On Friday, a raid was carried out in the Backroad sector in which the capture of a person was achieved. More than 92 grams of narcotics, some elements were also found, and in this case, gram scales with which they achieved the weighing of this narcotic. We also managed to capture a person with more than 130 grams in the Serranilla neighborhood. The National Police will continue its fight against drug trafficking and micro-trafficking and calls on parents to be attentive to the activities of their children.
And changes in the Union Cabinet were made in the Mobility and Finance Secretariats.
The finance portfolio will be led by Accountant Charlie Livingston, who said that if possible he will comply as Secretary with his role of administering taxes, performing the timely collection, taxation of taxes, among other functions that fall under his purview. In an interview with Teleislas News, he also gave thanks for the opportunity.
Well, first, thanks to God, to the Kyber for nominating me in this new job. I just hope that we can go to the community, we can better the financial system somehow with the collaboration of all the staff, and that we can work in behalf of the community to give the community the best of us.
In addition to the Treasury Department, there were also changes in the mobility portfolio. Luis Victoria returns again to the mobility portfolio to give continuity to the formulation and orientation of policies, regulation and control of transit and public transportation.
And the Comptroller General's Office will hold a participatory follow-up dialogue on the commitments of the Emergency Plan for the Reconstruction of San Andres The session will be held in person at the auditorium of the National Police.
With the campaign called Mobile Controller to Your Neighborhood, the Comptroller General of the Republic is visiting unfinished works, white elephants, and educational institutions. Tomorrow, Wednesday, June 8, from 9 a.m., a participatory dialogue will be held on the fulfillment of the commitments of the Emergency Action Plan for the reconstruction of San Andres. It should be recalled that a special delegation of the Comptroller's Office has been visiting the archipelago of San Andres Province and Santa Catalina since the 23rd, carrying out preventive control within the framework of its Mobile Comptroller's Office strategy. And during this accompaniment, the community, and especially watchdogs, have expressed their concern about the state of progress of the reconstruction process for the houses affected by the passage of Hurricane Iota. The dialogue will be held in person at the auditorium of the National Police, and citizens affected by the delays in the reconstruction will participate. It will also be attended by members of the citizen watchdog Teleislas, which is chaired by Álvaro Archbonines, the governor of the archipelago Departmental San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina, Julio Hawkins, his secretaries, the Deputy Technical Director of the National Unit for Disaster Risk Management, Ariel Zambrano, among other officials. The Comptroller General's Office will be represented by Daniel Restrepo, Director of Regional Follow-up of the Office of the Delegate Comptroller for Citizen Participation, Cindy Arney Moreno, Departmental Manager of the CGR, and Mauricio Cifuentes, Provincial Comptroller for Citizen Participation. It should be noted that the overseers who monitor the Emergency Action Plan on the island have expressed their concern before the Office of the Comptroller General of the Republic regarding the poor progress of the works on the island of San Andres, specifically as of May 2022, which does not exceed 9% of progress, according to its members. The Oversight Committee will present all the conclusions of its oversight exercise in the framework of the Citizen Dialogue tomorrow, Wednesday. It is worth highlighting that the Participatory Monitor Dialogue is a service of fiscal control in which the Comptroller General of the Republic, in the framework of the promotion and monitoring of social control of the public, promotes a space for citizens and public entities that implement a policy, a project, or a contract to present problems and possible solutions or improvements related to observations of the community.
In other news, the deadline for submitting research projects for the ONDAS program has been extended until Friday.
The ONDAS program of San Andres and Providence made known to the entire educational community that the schedule of convocation deadline was extended for submitting proposals until Friday, June 10th, at the request of teachers and student groups who are still filling out the forms to research project proposals.
Community, so we got what the CALFI proposal for the ONDAS 2022. This is our proposal and our project where we launch out with the university, the National University, and the different schools and the whole archipelago. This project, ONDAS 2022, and project where we want to help the children, the family, and the whole and them involved and to get in the investigation. We want to repeat in them, then can get ability and then can care about the environment, about how the different resources of the island come and whatsoever they want to ask themselves. We want to be part of this 2022.
This week, the advisor will continue to visit different educational institutions accompanying groups of children, adolescents, and young people in the formulation of the program in order to provide a co-investigation teacher for preschooler and middle school educational institution. Let's remember that the ONDAS program is a program executed by the National University with research in the Ministry of Science, Technology, and Innovation and the Departmental Government, with the objective of increasing the level of development of research, scientific, and innovation skills and capacities in the children of the archipelago. Those interested in receiving more information can write to ondas_card.unal.edu.co.
The delegate of the National Register Office clarified doubts about the vote in the second round for the presidency of the Republic.
The National Registrar's Office continues to educate the public about the second round of the presidential elections. On this occasion, Nicolas Farfán, delegate registrar for electoral matters, states the following.
Blank question valid.
Blank vote is a valid option for citizens to mark on the electoral cards when the candidate's offer does not satisfy the interests or expectations, and they choose to vote blank and not support any candidates. The blank vote appears in the electoral card of the second round of elections for president and vice president of the republic. It is a valid vote and will work together with the two formulas.
It is emphasized that in the second round, the blank ballots are symbolic.
En la tarjeta de segunda vuelta, el voto tiene un efecto.
In the electoral card of the second round, blank vote has a symbolic effect. In the Constitution, in Article 258, first paragraph establishes that when the blank vote wins, the election must be repeated, but only in the first electoral round. The blank vote, as we mentioned, is a valid vote. While the null vote is an invalid vote, since it is the intention of the voter cannot be identified in favor of whom the voter is casting the ballot for.
The delegate emphasized that blank votes that are registered in the second round do not add up to a candidate.
Podríamos decir que eso es un mito.
It is a myth. The blank vote is not added to the candidate and it's an independent ballot that is being counted.
Now it's time for sport news with Victor Fusalva.
Hello, here are the best sports of the island, and this time with a baseball tournament that seeks to promote peace and train the island young baseball players. Loudine Smith continues to develop baseball talent and has organized a Seed of Peace tournament for the young baseball players to continue their training. This event also served to pay tribute to Baldo Archibald, the greatest baseball icon and greatest baseball player development trainer of the archipelago. Baldo Archibald was grateful for this tribute.
It's a pleasure to know that the people, someone and somebody know that's a pleasure to know that people recognize that much. Know that someone and the people around recognize that much for you, that much for us. And I hope that the young generation grow with that spirit and have that people recognize that, and everyone will have that feelings for the young generation that is coming up. San Andres and Providence, I hope that recognition will follow, and hope that everyone will recognize that.
Another who expressed her gratitude were his granddaughter, Ashuri Reeves Archibald.
I feel very happy to know that children's, adults, is very special in the day of today to see children's and adults come and say, thanks Mr. Baldo for all that you do for we, it's worth it.
And in the ring, island boxer Charnold Torres continues his preparation process for upcoming national tournaments. With discipline and dedication, Charnold Torres continues in the gym preparing with coach Nelson Manchego. The future champion says he will not lower his guard until he achieves good performance for the department at the national level, and at the same time seeks to win medals for Colombia at the international level in this sport of boxing. Charnold Torres gave us more details.
Actualmente me sigo entrenando para.
Currently, I am still training for the next championships that are coming up. Merely training for the future national games that will be next year. Also, I am training for the international championships with the Colombia National Youth Team and the future national adult and youth championships. So now I am training with active rest. But when they announce the championships, I will enter harder camps and training than they are.
According to the Islander boxer, his next goals are to become national champion and have a great performance in amateur boxing, and then jump to the professional boxing. And this is all in sports for tonight. We will see you on another broadcast. We continue with Lisa.
Victor, sport news is issued in our broadcast. tomorrow at 1 p.m. More of Teleislas News. Good night.